Today, we're looking at the cheapest hot tent pellet stove on Amazon, part 2. So before you buy it, let me try it and let you know if this product is worth the money or if it's just funny. Stick around to the end of this video because I'm also going to be drawing the winner of the Monument Mesa 200G grill. If you entered that giveaway, stick around to the end because I'm picking the winner tonight. The first time I reviewed a pellet stove from Amazon, it sold out almost immediately. It's still currently unavailable, but another one came on Amazon. That was hot. So I'm assuming other brands saw that the one that I first reviewed sold out and then flooded the market on Amazon. This one is from a brand called Solo Wilder. You can pick it up for $320 right now on Amazon. It's currently the cheapest one. We're gonna go over the pros and cons of this pellet stove. And let me tell you what, there's a couple pretty big cons to this pellet stove. There's also some good pros. So let's go over the pros before we go over the cons. This pellet stove has a hopper that screws together. I really like that. It makes it so it's less easy to collapse down for transport. I haven't even collapsed it because it was a pain in the butt to get this hopper together. There's nuts and bolts that you have to screw together to hold it in place. And right now the hopper's just about out of pellets. It's probably sitting at around here. So we'll see during this video how an empty hopper affects the hopper. So the hopper. This is one of the biggest pros compared to the other cheapest hot tent pellet stove that I reviewed. It doesn't have gaps in between all the layers. The top and the bottom is one piece instead of having the top and the bottom section leaving gaps everywhere. The hopper is probably pro number one. It's also from a brand called Solo Wilder. They have all sorts of stoves. This is the cheapest one that they currently have on Amazon. I wish they sent me the better one, but they sent me this one instead. I'm not picky. I like stoves, and I want to show you guys every single one of them. And I'm doing a damn good job getting every single stove that's on the market. Here's the side of the burner. Right here is a bolt that holds the hopper onto the burn chamber. So it is less likely, actually I don't think this hopper could fall off this burner at all because it's screwed in on both sides, over here and right here. This bolt right here raises and lowers a metal chamber that goes into the burn chamber to restrict the amount of pellets being burned at once. This is on the highest setting, so you're gonna have the hottest burn when it's all the way up, and then the lowest, slowest burn when it's all the way down. See this slot right here? That's for this. This is a pellet stopper. You slide that in, and it stops the pellets from falling down into the chamber. If we look at the bottom of the stove, right here is your right here is your ash catch. It has a lock that turns up, and then you pull it out. Oh wow, we got coffee. Remy dog, you're in the way. You're in the way, bud. You hear the rain? The rain just picked up. Lay down, bud. You can't block the stove though. I need you over there. Hey, I need you over there. Good boy. Lay down. One of my biggest issues with the other cheapest pellet stove, the hopper. The hopper had so much air being taken into it, I feel like it created negative pressure when the pellets got so far down and smoke started filling this hopper. And sometimes that smoke would actually ignite and then pop this top right off. I only had that happen a couple times in all my testing. I tested that pellet stove a lot. But in my limited testing with this one, I have not had that happen. I filled this up just enough to get it burning for a few hours, and I haven't had this fill up with smoke and pop off yet. I'm not saying it won't, I'm just saying I haven't had that issue yet with this one. So that's why I do like this hopper better than the other. I do want to let that coffee cool down. It is steaming pretty good. Back to under here. On this side, I do have to say this stove comes with a pair of leather gloves. On this side is your oven. Burn count 1. Even with the leather gloves, this knob gets freaking hot. I hate this. I hate this design. These knobs are freaking stupid. So stupid. It needs, the other cheapest pellet stove had a handle that you used for everything on the stove and it came off. So it doesn't get hot. This is stupid. That gets hot. That gets hot, and it gets freaking wicked hot. Same with that one. Obviously, they're the same. I don't know if that's made out of brass or just made to look like brass. So open and close your oven fast. The fire is burning right down now. We're going to find out if this is going to pop off or not. Let me know in the comments down below. Do you think this is going to blow up, or do you think it's going to be just fine? On this side of the stove, there is a vent for the oven, so you can try to regulate the temperature inside of the oven. But in my experience, the oven really doesn't get that hot. It cooked my pizzas, my pre-made pizzas, just fine. But if the dough was raw, I don't think it would have cooked them. Excuse me. Here is the burn plate. This is some thick steel to reduce the amount of warping that you'd have on the stove. And the burner's going, the fire is coming along the side through a trap door, not a trap door, just an opening, because there's a middle wall through this stove. So the fire comes through here, this way, and then that way, and then up through the chimney. So this whole top is getting pelted with fire, but the hottest spot is right here. You can totally see that. And it seems fine. I haven't had any issues with it. And that gets hot. That gets hot. Let's check the hopper for smoke. Okay, burn count 2. That's hot. But no smoke. I don't know what makes this one different from that one, but I haven't had it fill up with smoke yet. I really have no idea why, besides the hopper being more solid. That's the only thing I can think of. All right, time for the cons. Cheers. Ow. That was way too hot. Burn count 3. This is the burner from the other cheapest pellet stove from Amazon. As you can see, it's a complete rectangle, right? This other one, this new one, has a slant right here where the burner is slanted. And this slant is oriented on this side. I don't know why that is. I don't know if that's causing an issue, but for some reason, after a couple to few hours of burning, the chamber, the burn chamber, not the ash catch, because the ash catch hasn't filled up on me yet, but the chamber stops burning the pellets. If you can see, there's only flame on the top here anyways, so down below, it's not burning, and I don't know why. The air intake is completely open. Everything is set just fine. There's nothing that I could do to change that. I don't understand why that does that. But eventually, the bottom chamber fills up with unburnt pellets and stops the burn. Last night I started a how long can it burn test. I got over 13 hours of burn time with one hopper full of pellets. Over 13 hours. This holds, I don't know, 5 pounds of pellets. But the reason why is because the fire was like this, tiny. Let me show you how big that fire is, just in case you really can't see it. After a few hours, I mean, it just got bigger. This is actually a bigger flame than it just was. But after a few hours, the flame gets tiny because the bottom's not burning. And as you can see, the flame is only on the top right now. That whole hopper is filled with unburnt pellets, but the flame is only on the top. I do not know why it only burns on the top instead of the whole basket at once, but that's how it is. As you can see, the glass gets sooty all over here because the bottom's not burning, but the top is. It's so strange. I don't understand why it does that. It's just so strange. Let me know if anybody knows why it does that. And now, folks, it is time for the biggest con of this stove. When you purchase this stove from Amazon.com by the maker Solo Wilder, it comes with 3 stovepipes and then the spark arrestor. So when you hook it up to your stove, it is this freaking tall. This is 4 pipes. So imagine this one is the spark arrestor. So really you only have 3 sections of chimney. So it's this big. It's this tall. It's shorter than I am. It's a foot over the hopper. What is this? A stovepipe for ants? I have reached out to the representative that reached out to me to review this stove. They're just an Amazon representative for the company or something like that. I don't really know what they are. They argued with me saying that it comes with enough pipes to use in 3 different tents. One being the Pomali stove hut. I disagree. One being the Pomali Leo 2. I disagree with that too. And then one being a bell tent. If you put this stove in a bell tent with 3 chimney pipes, now I have to say this stove may actually fit in a bell tent. But if you only have 6 inches of stovepipe coming out of your tent, the rest of your tent is in danger of getting sparks on it and burning. Because the stovepipe isn't higher than the peak of your tent. You always want your stovepipe to be higher than the peak of your tent to reduce the amount of sparks that can and will fall onto your tent. In my opinion, this 3 feet of stovepipe is not enough stovepipe for any stove or any tent. So they said you can buy stovepipes separately for any stove, which is true. But you're spending over $300 on the stove, and the pipes are the cheapest part of any stove. I buy these from AliExpress for a couple dollars each. So I did reach out to the representative, told them that they need to include more stovepipes in their tent. It argued back and forth, and then I said, listen, you just need to tell the company that I feel like they need to include more stovepipes. So the representative did tell me that they will forward that message onto the company, but we'll see if that actually changes anything. But if you're ever looking for stovepipes, sectional stovepipes, I'll leave a link in the description to AliExpress. It is an affiliate link, but they're so cheap. I've had no issues with them whatsoever. In fact, they're so cheap, I'm almost positive they're the same pipes that Pomali sending in their stoves now, the stainless steel pipes. I see no difference between the ones I purchased off of AliExpress and the ones I get from Pomali. So take that as you will, but they're cheap. I always use a credit card or PayPal, so if something happens with AliExpress, I get reimbursed. But I've been using AliExpress for over 7 years now, and I buy all sorts of stuff. Like this little... I have to show you, I love this thing. This little axe neck knife. I think you're supposed to use it like this as a little chopper, vegetable chopper or something. You're not going to cut down a tree with this. Leave it in the comments down below if you want to see me cut down a tree with this. That could be fun and that could be funny. It's wicked sharp, I have to say. That is sharp. I also need to see if it will open a beer. I kind of think this might be a beer cap opener. So next outing, that's getting used for that. But it comes with a Kydex sheath that clicks into place. I'll leave a link to this in the description down below if you're interested, but this is wicked cool. This is now my favorite neck knife that I have. just because that's awesome. All right, cheers. That's better. So do I think this product's worth the money, or is it just funny? As it comes, it is just funny. If you get more stovepipes, if you figure out that burner, you see how this one has slots in it? Maybe cutting slots in this one will help it. I don't know. I haven't done that. Maybe you can. Maybe somebody has this stove and they already figured out how to get that burning right. Let me know in the comments down below. Let us all know in the comments down below. But as it sits right now, I think it's just funny. I think you can make it worth the money, but that's going to cost more money. So now, let's draw the winner for the grill. Also, check this out, guys. We got the zip-in stove jack for the Ollie Easy tent. Paul that sent me the stove called this the Spack Jack. I love that name. Spack Jack it is now, at least for me. Ollie Easy isn't calling it the Spack Jack. I didn't have a huge hand in developing that, but I did play a role in it, and I think that's awesome too. So whenever I use it, it is now the Spack Jack. Thanks, Paul, for the name. Thanks, Ollie Easy, for sending me that. I'm currently testing it to see how it does with a stove. I mean, it works just fine. I have no issues with it so far. I'm going to put a bigger stove in there with a bigger pipe, get it roaring, ripping hot, and we'll see how it does. But let's draw that winner. So I have the URL fetched right here. Now we're going to fetch the comments. Once again, we're going to go with anything goes because people don't know how to follow instructions. Continue. What does that say? 155 comments. Let's pick the winner. Turtle Wolf Pack 6061. What the F is wrong with... Oh, never mind. Just keep it up. Okay, hold on. I need to go check to see if he entered. I love that comment. Hold on. I'll be right back. Okay, here's Wolfpack's. Turtle Wolf Pack, the first one. I don't think he entered. And as far as the ashes, I use a screwdriver every so often and I clear them out manually. If you're okay with that, it might be worth the money for you. It burned all night long, very low heat. But maybe that's what you want. If that's what you want, it might be worth the money to you. All right, he didn't enter, or she, I'm not too sure. So, let's close that out. We're back to 154 comments because theirs is out. Pick a winner. Eric Kellner. Eric Kellner, you won. You have 1 week to contact me or I'm drawing another winner. My email address is adventureswithspackman@gmail.com. You can find it in the About section of my YouTube channel too, but I'll have it on the screen right here. Email me as soon as possible. I'll forward your information onto Monument Grills and they'll ship you the grill. You have 1 week. Look at that Spack Jack.